Why do I keep buying the Toyota Tacoma? This is my 6th or 7th one. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. So why do I keep buying the Toyota Tacoma? As I mentioned, this is my 6th or 7th one. You know, I bought one a long time ago. It was, I believe it was a 2nd gen. And if I'm being honest, I'm going to be honest, it was a pre-runner. It was a 2-wheel drive with a locker. And I lived in Ohio where we got snow. And I loved the look of that truck. I had a bull bar on the front. I think I tinted the windows, but that's really about all I had done. That was really pre-modding days, and certainly pre-YouTube channel days for me. Otherwise, you guys would see it. But I really did love that truck, and let me tell you one other thing. I'm gonna come clean. I'm gonna admit to it. That bull bar on the front, it was chrome. I don't know what I was thinking, but I really did love it on that truck. It was that dark blue, maybe similar to the Blue Crush that's coming out now. Maybe even the same color, I'm not sure. But I really did dig that truck. So why don't I still have it? I mean, it certainly would still be running now, even though it's been many, many years. Because there was a time in the winter where we got a ton of snow. I mean, a lot. It was like 12 inches, 8 inches. It was a lot for us. And then, of course, it got really, really cold outside. So I took that truck, I think it was to pick up my daughter, actually, and I got stuck on the road. I had just pulled up to stop, and then I hit the gas, and I was stuck. It wouldn't move. It was a flat surface. There wasn't an incline or anything. So I whipped it into, I turned the locker on. I activated the locker so that the rear wheels would spin, right? All that happened was I sat there and went back and forth on the rear end. It's like the front brakes were locked and the rear end was just spinning. Okay, so I got it out. I actually had to get out, shovel some snow behind it. I was very close to my house, so I waded through the snow. Streets hadn't been shoveled, and picked up a shovel. So I get home. The next morning, I'm getting ready to go to work, and it's, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I go out, I get in the truck, I'm on my driveway, the driveway is flat. I go to back up, of course, it had gotten even colder, everything froze over, all that stuff, and it did the same thing, just sat there and rocked. I finally was able to move it out. My driveway was shoveled, by the way, but icy. But it was horrible. So then I decided, this is nuts. If I can't drive this truck with its locker in the back, then I'm not going to have it. And that disheartened me about the Tacoma, and I traded it off. So that was my first experience with the Toyota Tacoma. And I had flipped to other ones in between, right? I had, I think, a couple of Rangers. I had 1 or 2 Chevy S10s. And then I ventured into the full-size market. This was much later. A couple of F-150s, a Ram Rebel. But always in between all of those, I went back to the Toyota Tacoma. So I asked myself, well, why? Why do I keep doing this? I mean, what is there about the Tacoma that keeps bringing me back? Why do I always go back to the Toyota Tacoma? There's a few reasons. One is pretty simple. I would never park outside back in the day. Always had to have my truck in the garage because of the weather. In the winter, I didn't want to go out and scrape snow and ice and all that junk, so I wanted the truck in the garage. It was the only one that would fit in the garages I had back then, was the Tacoma. So in between cars and other trucks, I didn't have the full size at that point because they wouldn't fit. I went back to the Tacoma. That's the number one reason why. But then it became apparent there were other reasons. One, I really liked the look of the Tacoma. I thought, and still do, that the Tacoma is the best looking truck out there, and it always has been ever since I've been buying trucks. So that always took me back. Also, when I went and even had these other trucks, they just felt too trucky for me. That's my word of the day, trucky. I didn't like that. I wanted something that I guess was more SUV-like. And this was really before SUVs were out, so I didn't have anything to compare it to then, but if I had to liken it to something today, it would be more SUV-like, more comfortable inside, better appointed, just felt better on the road. And that was the Tacoma. It never felt like those other trucks did. They always felt like trucks on the road. And if you've driven older trucks, then you know what I'm talking about. They were horrible on power. They bounced all over the place. The bed articulated like crazy from the cab. Going over railroad tracks, it felt like your rear end was airborne. It would just bounce around. They were terrible. And the Tacoma was never like that for me. Then we fast forward a little further, closer rather to today. And of course, I have the channel primarily, if not all, about the Tacoma. So there is a business concern there. You know, you can't have a Tacoma channel and not have a Tacoma. And not that I'd want anything else either, not on this channel. And then there's the modding and stuff. You know, when the modding bug bit me fully, you know, when I really got nailed by that, the Tacoma was it. There was really nothing else out there that I could see that I could do the things that I wanted to do to make the truck my own, like you can with the Tacoma. And also the things that you could do yourself. You know, when I first started out, you know, I wasn't a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. So I needed to be able to have things to do that someone with not a lot of knowledge could be able to do without really screwing things up. And that meant bolt-ons. And of course, after I, you know, started looking around, got more familiar with the culture, I guess, of modding, it became very apparent to me that Toyota ruled the market there, or at least the Tacoma did, as far as the aftermarket options that are out there and available for the Tacoma. So that's what really bit me, because you see, when I drive a vehicle, for me, it's not about just jumping in the vehicle and leaving it as is, right? Just driving it the way it came. I have to put my own touches on it. Why? Because I want it to be the way I want it to be. I want it to look the way I want it to look. And I enjoy doing it. I love doing it. It's fun for me to get out there and do mods and things and add to the truck, hopefully to make it better. So those are the main reasons as to why I keep coming back to the Tacoma. Never mind its reliability. You know, that is key too. I had some mostly full-size trucks that had reliability problems, and that's nothing I want to deal with. While it might make for interesting content, I don't want to be living at the dealership all the time because my truck is not reliable. That's ranks right up there, I guess, with the reasons why I continue buying the Toyota Tacoma. It probably will, as long as I can continue driving, which I hope is later than just tomorrow. Anyway, leave a comment, let me know. If you're a multiple Toyota Tacoma owner, why do you keep coming back to the Tacoma? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive FST, all about my experiences with the Toyota Tundra and my hunt for the upcoming redesigned Toyota Tundra. And RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.